What's up, everybody? How are we all doing? It is Monday night. This is the Late Night Agenda, and I'm your host, Craig. I do apologise. I thought this stream was scheduled. I checked it earlier on. It was scheduled. I come in after doing an interview with Cash, come on and realise it wasn't scheduled. So if some people are only getting very late notifications, that's my fault this time. I do apologise for that one. I'm going to just blabber on for a minute or two to allow people to come into the chat, but I hope you're all keeping well. It is Monday night, as I've said. International football on, if that's your kind of thing. Ireland are playing at the minute. As I speak, we're 1-0 up against Gibraltar. Yay! Not a fan of international football, as you know, but there is lots and lots of stuff to talk about. I keep saying this, but stuff moves fast. The 1 minute you think a transfer is going one way, hey, then it goes the other way. So I want to get your thoughts on this. As always, I need your help. This is your show. Let me know the type of things that you want to talk about. Let me know what way you want the conversation steered, and we'll try our best to do it. Loads of things to talk about. Bruno Fernandes, Matthijs de Ligt, Harry Wilson, to name a few. Obviously there's stuff, non-Liverpool related stuff as well. Harry Maguire, is he going to United? Perhaps. Is he going to City? Perhaps. There's talk of an 80 million quid bid there as well. So much for us to get through, ladies and gentlemen. Hello to everybody that's now joining in the chat. I feel like I can actually start now because I can see that the people have got the notifications and are in the chat. How are we? What do you want to talk about tonight, guys? This is your show as always. Let me know. First thing you want to talk about. Bruno. There you go. Why not? Let's start with Bruno Fernandes. Right, so couple of conflicting things on this, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, Liverpool were favourites to sign Bruno Fernandes this morning from what I've seen, but late news this evening claimed that Manchester United are apparently close to signing him. Now, the earlier report said that Liverpool look set to beat Spurs to the signing of Bruno Fernandes, according to reports coming from Portugal. Spurs were reluctant to bid for the Sporting Lisbon playmaker, while Christian Eriksen's future remained unresolved. Meanwhile, there's also been rumours that Spurs are weighing up an alternative for Giovanni Lo Celso, or I don't know how you pronounce that guy's name, the guy from Celta Vigo. And as a result, Liverpool are said to be in prime position to sign Bruno Fernandes. But then again, you've heard stuff this evening say that Manchester United are favourites to go and sign him. We know United are interested in him. We know Liverpool are interested in him. Spurs and Manchester City have also been rumoured to be interested. City look like they're going down the João Felix route. So that kind of looks like it's Liverpool, United and Spurs. I want to get your thoughts on this one because I don't know what to believe anymore. I'll get on to Matthijs de Ligt. Don't worry, I've got news on Matthijs de Ligt as well. I've got news on Harry Wilson. I've got news on Marko Grujic and a few other bits and pieces. But let's stick with this for the time being because I know he's a player that a lot of people hope that we sign. I know he's a player that had an amazing season last year with Sporting Lisbon. As I said, I'm not going to claim to have watched much of the guy. I'm just basing this off stats and figures and statistics and stuff that I've spoke to people about. But again, in the chat, what do you want? Do you want Bruno Fernandes? Is he Manchester United bound? Are you happy with the rumoured, 50, 60 million, something like that? I'd love Bruno, said Liverpool legend. Yes, Nicolas Pepe, now man. Okay, fair enough. Put it in many more times, mate, and you'll end up getting booted out. But we will get to Pepe, don't worry. Will said, Man United wouldn't develop Fernandes as a footballer, whereas we would. In my opinion, it would be a waste of his career to go to United or City. What else we got? Well, as a United fan, I'd love to have him, said Mohammed. I don't blame you, Mohammed. He looks like a classy footballer, and you guys have gone and signed Daniel James, which I think is a good bit of business for 18 million quid. You're looking at a centre back. There was talk of Koulibaly. Now there's of course talk of Harry Maguire. Again, both good moves for United in positions that they need to strengthen. And with the loss of what's his name to PSG, Shithouse. Can't think of his name at this moment in time. Herrera. With the loss of him to PSG and stuff, there are gaps in the United midfield that need filling. If I'm a footballer and it comes down to a footballing choice, then to be fair, if Liverpool are interested, he should be wanting to go to Liverpool Football Club, regardless of wages. And I'm sure United can probably offer more wages if the truth be told. But for me, if I'm looking at a project now and I'm looking to push on my career, I'm looking at the two managers, and I'm looking at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who's unproven, and I'm looking at Jurgen Klopp, who has just come off back-to-back Champions League finals and has a team that are still developing but right at the top in European football. I would go to Liverpool, clearly, but I'm biased as fuck on here, so I want to know your thoughts on it. Don't believe anything until the club announce it, said Ella. Yeah, I mean, there is that way to look at it as well, buddy, but you know me, I like a transfer room at Ella, and I'm a bit of transfer hound, so I love the discussions, and I love getting the information that sometimes I've missed out on and other people have picked up on. Anthony said, Craig, do you think Felix is worth over 100 million? I honestly have no idea. It seems like that is what it's going to take to get him though, mate, the £105 million release clause. as I said, Liverpool were at 60 million, I think we apparently bid from in January, but that came out of Portugal. There was never really much from Liverpool over that one. But he does seem to be a massive talent, and how good he'll be in the future, I don't know. We've seen Frankie de Jong get snapped up by Barcelona for 75 million. Is he better than Frankie de Jong? I don't know, but he's certainly going for a lot more money. And I've even seen Benfica say that they really want a deal that gets him back on loan for a year after they sell him, which would be madness for a club to pay 105 million quid and then loan him back to somebody for a year. Saeed said Bruno Fernandes' brother said that he'll sign for a team in the Champions League. Are those real quotes though? And I'm not questioning you, Saeed, of course, mate. I'm just questioning some of the stuff I've seen. I've been fed lines that are just not true by people as well, that they've been duped on. So if that is a genuine quote, then it would seem that would rule out Manchester United. A tier 1 Italian journalist has said that he's already agreed a deal with Manchester United, said Elliot. Yeah, I mean, if it's from a footballing perspective, I stand over what I said. If both clubs are in from, then surely to God Liverpool are the more attractive club. Nigel, I'm very good, thank you, mate. I hope you're doing well. Has Neres transfer died completely? Asked the real Ginger Steve. I haven't seen anything on David Neres at all, mate. Obviously he was away with Brazil. I think he scored. Did he score for Brazil? Am I wrong at that? I know they won 7-0 against Honduras, I think. I think he might have scored. I know Bobby scored. But yeah, he was away on international duty as well. So a lot of stuff will have been quiet during that period. And maybe now when the players are finishing up, they're going on holidays, I'm sure, but that doesn't stop deals from being conducted. That doesn't stop contracts from being faxed around or agents talking to clubs. 2-0 Ireland, said Mossy. There you go. Connor's at the game actually, which is why he won't be in the chat tonight. Connor, as I said to you last night, we get media passes to the Ireland games, and Connor's in there tonight watching the Irish team, whereas I'm on here talking to you wonderful people. It's clear who the winner is here, isn't it? Reason Dummet is in. How are you, mate? Welcome. Every day is me. Our Leeds United friend is in. How are you? You're actually going to be part of this conversation in a few minutes, mate, with regards to Leeds, as you can see from what you comment there. But I don't want to read your comment out yet, mate, because I want to get to that in a second. But go on, I'll ruin it. It is about Harry Wilson and Ryan Kent, so we'll get to that in a few minutes. Craig, we need to snap up these talented fellas first, said Stephen Richards. Barcelona are not getting my Robbo. There's no way that Andy Robertson's gone to Barcelona, Tom. Why would he? I mean, he's just been part of a team that destroyed Barcelona, so there's no way he's going there. He basically ended Messi's career as well. He just completely... Messi was finished. You've seen it in his eyes. Poor old Messi didn't know what to do. God bless him. Liz Golden said, source close to the club means nothing. It means absolutely fuck all, mate. You're right. It means nothing. Nothing whatsoever. I should probably have done my usual warning at the start of the stream, by the way. We do use bad language on the stream. We use a little bit of bad language. So if it's something that offends you, or if you've got young kids with you, and, you know, the usual warnings... love a good old transfer saga, said Sean Pill. As do I, mate. I absolutely love a transfer saga. If United have signed Bruno Fernandes, it's obvious we're not in for him, said Tommy Edge. The Ireland match was a hard watch, said Sean. I didn't watch it, so as I said, I'm not really a massive fan of international football. What's this one? Liverpool need a top class squad, not a top class team. Is it Kalaki Clock Jordan? I absolutely believe and agree with what you've said there, mate. It is about squad, and you're probably sick of me saying on here that we can't think of things from a starting 11 perspective anymore. We need to think about it from a squad perspective, and we do need 2 high level players at every single position. What county do I live in? Wexford, mate. Wexford. Originally I'm from Dublin, but living in Wexford now. Do you think we'll challenge in the League Cup and the FA Cup if we sign a few star players? I don't think it's going to take star players to challenge in that. It's just we need to just treat the competitions a little bit more respectfully. Is that the right term that I'm trying to use here? But yeah, squad depth will definitely help to that Epic Amp, without a shadow of a doubt. Miros said, since we've won the Champions League, players be interested to join. Of course. Players won't be interested to join. That doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. If I'm reading your comment correctly, and I could be picking this up wrong, you've said, since we've won the Champions League, players won't be interested in joining. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, mate. We're a destination club now. Back-to-back Champions League finals. Jurgen Klopp as manager. That unbelievable fan base that we have. That won't be lost on players. They will have seen the images of the parade. They will have seen the Reds lifting that Champions League trophy. If we aren't interested in Bruno, he'll go to Spurs. He wants trophies, said Liverpool legend. Mohamed Sheriff said, to be fair to Liverpool, it's a better idea for him, but we, United, want to build our squad again, and it would be honourable to be part of a new era in United. Same for Liverpool players. to be brutally honest about this, Mohammed, I know from a United fan perspective, I get where you're coming from, buddy. I've had this conversation and I've tried to believe the same stuff about Liverpool as well back in the day. But what would happen and what would probably need to happen is United will probably need to overpay for players and overpay for wages again to get in the types of names that will get them back to the levels that they aspire to be at, playing Champions League football, challenging at the top of the Premier League. Where United are right now, they probably are going to have to overpay and overpay with wages, but it's about doing so for them more intelligently than they've done with the likes of Alexis Sanchez. Like, why not pay somebody who can actually do a decent job for you, that kind of wage, if you've got it to be thrown around? And United do, because United are a very wealthy club. But I still think United are 2-3 transfer windows away from being a genuine force and a good manager, because I don't believe that the manager you have there is going to be able to do a job there. I just don't see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being the man long term. Happily Egg said Neres scored 1, Bobby scored 1, Richarlison 2, Coutinho 1, and Jesus scored a couple. Thank you for that one, my friend. Clarky Sinku said, I've heard Klopp will keep faith in Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita and told Lallana to train all summer, so he's cancelled his holidays. Yeah, we did mention that last night. It does seem like Adam Lallana has either cancelled or cut his holidays short and wants to train to prove his fitness, and that's a good sign. Even though I would still personally move him on, it is a good sign, and it's what I want to see from our players as well. So I can't do anything but, I suppose, compliment him for his attitude. What have we got? Sully Khan said, hello Craig, I wanted to ask how many signings we'll make. We should be signing players by now. Keep up the great work. Well, firstly, mate, thank you so much for the kind words. I think 3, but of course, Sully, this is guesswork because I've no inside knowledge of what's going on at the football club. Not many people have, and anybody who tries to tell you otherwise is probably lying to you. I think we need cover for fullback, but whether that cover is going to be Adam Lewis, which will be from our own youth ranks, then we wouldn't need to buy anybody. The goalkeeper situation is up in the air. If Simon Mignolet leaves, then of course we're going to need to replace him. But for me, it's about getting at least 2 attackers in this window. And for me, whether that's wide players, whether that's what you'd class as a striker, or whether that's attacking midfielders, I don't really care. But we need 1, if not 2 of them. So I'm expecting a couple of signings and then monitor what goes on in the fullback situation and the goalkeeper situation. But again, mate, take everything I say with a pinch of salt because it's just guesswork. Pretty quiet day in transfers, says Mossy. There's been a few bits and pieces, mate, to be fair. Why would Fernandes go to United? It could be money, mate. And as our United friend said a moment ago, maybe he was pitched a plan. Maybe he was sold a vision and maybe he believes in that vision. I don't know. Man United are paying out too much in wages, said Happily Eggs. Kirby said, if I was Fernandes, I would go to Liverpool because we can turn anybody into the best player in the world and we would probably start him every game. Well, I don't think anybody will start every game at Liverpool, but I do get where you're coming from, mate. If you're a footballer now looking to move on with your career, Liverpool must be a dream destination right now. The style of football that we play, the manager that we have, the fan base that we have, the results that we're putting in. And he's been very complimentary of our style of football. We've heard Bruno Fernandes come out and say that he likes the gegenpress and front foot style of football that Liverpool play. So let's just wait and see on this one. It's very interesting because a lot of things have gone quiet. There's very little leakage coming out of Liverpool with regard to transfers. Next year is the year, I refuse to say that word, Connor, so I'm going to, because it's just a weird personal thing, mate, but next year is the year of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Connor Dara said, and I hope you're right, mate, because I absolutely love Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Everything about him, I love the determination that he had. I love that he wanted to keep how serious his injury was from the team because he didn't want to distract from the Champions League final last year. I love how media savvy he is. I love what a nice guy he is. So much to love about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain that yes, I wish him absolutely every success this season. Matthew Newman said, I'd really like to try Fernandes in the starting 11 if we get him. I think he's the last piece of the puzzle in midfield. United's transfer strategy needs to change, said Ferran. The idea of buying big name high profile players doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, there is that. And yet we're having this conversation and they could very well end up seeing Gareth Bale come into United this summer. As part of maybe a deal for Pogba, although Juventus have now shown an interest in Paul Pogba as well. Yeah, there needs to be a mix, I suppose. If you're going to bring in players, they have to be around 24, 25, 26 rather than the 28, 29, 30 year olds that we'd seen done previously under the likes of Jose Mourinho. But look, I don't wish United well at all. Obviously, I hope they fuck up in the transfer market again. I hope Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't work out for them, and I hope we're all sitting here having this conversation again next summer. But I'm a Liverpool fan, and I wouldn't take that as being disrespectful to the United fans, because you guys, I'm sure, have similar views towards Liverpool. Cape Town Muslim said United's wage structure is all messed up. Clubs mess with a weak manager, tasked to turn things around. Loving it. Jean-Jacques Lundy said, excuse me mate if I mispronounce your name, I'm Portuguese and Fernandes has Liverpool written all over him. At City he'd do good too, but he has that fire in his way of being that would suit Liverpool like a glove. Thank you very much for that, mate, and I hope you're right. I sincerely do hope that you're right, because I'd absolutely love him at Liverpool Football Club from what I've seen of him, which is very little, but his stats were absolutely fantastic last year for Sporting Lisbon. He likes a long shot as well, and I've seen that in a couple of games he's played for Portugal, and I'm a fan of somebody who likes to take shots. We've seen it with Felipe Coutinho at times, and sometimes they'd end up in row Z, but I'm a big believer in getting shots in on goalkeepers, and sometimes we just don't shoot enough for my liking. Happily Egg said I think Brewster will get more outings next season, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt, I'm expecting a very big season from Ian Brewster. Our entire ownership needs to go. The Glazers are fantastic businessmen, but they aren't football people, so we sign players like Bale 10 years too late and then pay them 500 grand a week. Look, I have a very basic understanding of the Glazers, but from day one, the way they leveraged the club to buy it was not a good sign for me, and they've been paying back ridiculous amounts of money, I believe, in interest. And United are a very, very financially healthy club, but there's money going out of that club that could well be going on transfers or improving the stadium or other bits and pieces that United should probably be doing. That's going back to paying these ridiculous interest rates that I believe the Glazers have stacked up against the cost of buying the club. And then, of course, because they're a club on the stock exchange, you've got dividends and all that stuff to pay out as well. Whereas with our owners, to my understanding, they haven't taken a penny out of the football club yet. They've loaned money to the club to build a main stand. They've invested in infrastructure, and they probably look to see their return at the end when they sell, and it seems to be a medium-term investment for them. Saeed says, why does the Echo always report we're not in for a player, especially when we are? I suppose there's two trains of thought on this one, Saeed, mate, and the first one is that they just don't know jack shit anymore, and the second one is that maybe they're just trying to manage expectations a little bit and stop the leaks that are coming out. I probably think it's the first one, and that they don't know much anymore, and I have an immense respect for James Pearce as a journalist, and of course he covers most of the stuff Liverpool related for the Echo, but I don't know what to say to you. The club seem to have stemmed their leaks, and under Brendan Rodgers there was a lot of stuff coming out in the Echo, whereas you are right, these days it seems to be a lot of pouring cold water on things, and it's not great. The Irish Beard said if a player really chooses United over Liverpool, both teams are seriously in for him, that he's not a player who has real ambition. United are a joke and Liverpool are world class. What else have we got? Brian Fitzmaurice said, Craig, do you think Fernandes is worth 70 million? From, again, my very basic understanding of him, because I haven't seen much of him, yes, I would say 70 million in this day and age isn't a ridiculous amount to pay. I mean, if we're talking James Maddison, you're probably looking at 60 million. It's just a matter of would he be able to translate what he did in Portugal with Sporting Lisbon to the Premier League or to the Champions League at the highest level, and I suppose that's a decision where Kloppo has to step in. Craig, have you ever cut your head while shaving it? Oh, all the time, Sarah, all the time, especially when I'm using a new blade. I actually think I cut it last night, and I was glancing at myself on the stream just to make sure that there wasn't a little bit of blood running down my head. But yeah, I shave my head every day, usually about an hour before the stream, just in case of a cut. But I absolutely do cut my head, yeah. Can we stop talking about United? Do you know what, mate? This same thought was going through my head just a second ago. We need to move this conversation on. Right, let's move it on then. Let's move it on. And the next player I've up, Harry Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Wilson. Another player who we've seen mixed reports from in the media. And today, coming back to the Echo reported that Jurgen Klopp is willing to hand Harry Wilson a chance to prove himself in pre-season. Originally, we believed that there was a price on Harry Wilson's head and that price was somewhere between 20 and 25 million pound. But now it seems like he's going to get pre-season. He's going to get those friendly games to prove himself to Jurgen Klopp, and I want to know what you guys think, because on Twitter, the conversations I've had with people were really mixed. Some people think he's just not going to make it. Other people say, well, look, he had a really good season for Derby, scored something, I think it was 18 goals, something like that. and helped Derby in their push for promotion to the Premier League, which ultimately, of course, fell a little bit short. But for me, look, Jurgen Klopp is the best person to make this decision, but I just don't see it. I really don't see it long term that he's going to work out for us. He's 22 years of age, so 2 years older than Trent Alexander-Arnold. So he's not exactly a kid. I suppose he's young, but I just don't see it personally. Where is he going to get game time? Is he going to get game time ahead of Shaqiri, for instance, who looks like he's going to stay? I don't know. What do you guys think on Harry Wilson? Because it's such a divisive topic that I want to get your thoughts. Liam Hunter said Wilson's a good player, but is a little bit hit and miss. Liverpool will not pay to get the player who the agents want too much money for them. I'd love to be able to say you're right, mate, but Liverpool shelled out the most money to agents in the last season, and those stats are out there. I don't know the exact numbers, but we were top of the list. Now, I suppose we did do a lot of business last year. I think that might have included the time when we brought in Virgil van Dijk as well, Naby Keita, Fabinho, Alisson. A lot of players come in last year, a lot of money, but we're always paying a good whack of money to agents, to be fair, and it's not something I like. So I'd love to say that you're right, but we have got a history of paying agents money, and decent money as well. Brian Morrissey said Goldbridge has been saying since day one they're getting Fernandes. Yeah, but he also said they were getting Fabinho, mate, at one point. Well, I don't know if he said they were getting Fabinho, but I remember he was definitely thinking Fabinho was coming to United, and that didn't work out too well for United, did it? So I don't know. Maybe Mark has more information on this than we do, but then again, things, people are wrong from time to time, and if it's a straight shootout between the two, it can't even be a fucking competition, to be honest, right now. Liverpool are far more of an attractive club at this moment in time than United are. And if that offends, the people watching, I apologise, but it is true at this moment in time. Brian said, sell Harry Wilson, get as much as we can for him. Can we sign Alexis Sanchez agent, please? Asked Simon. Yeah, I mean, that was just nuts. But again, let's move away from United. Boya said, seen a very interesting article about Harry Wilson today and how he could be loaned to Leicester with an option to buy. From his perspective, Anthony, that makes absolute sense. I've said this to you before. If Harry Wilson was to be moved on, Leicester seems like a perfect club. The idea of working under Brendan Rodgers and developing his game time. Brendan Rodgers has, a background of working with young players. Leicester, a club that are looking to push on, a club that have a good crop of young players there. It would make sense to me, mate. That I wouldn't like the loan to buy thing. I think either sell him with an absolute agreement in place that Leicester have to pay X amount from at the end of the season. But even at that, I'd still like Liverpool to look at a case where we put in a buyback clause. If you're new to our channel, by the way, and you see Leicester City FC Boya there, Anthony runs a Leicester City account, as you can obviously guess, but he does great stuff. I keep recommending them to him, or to people on the stream. Go over, check out what Anthony does. If you're a fan like me and you like various football accounts, obviously we're very Liverpool centric on here, but Anthony has been a friend of ours for quite a while now, and I love what he does over there. So do go over and subscribe to his channel and check out his videos. And Anthony will be, of course, involved in anything we do against Leicester this season. We'll be getting Boya on for a chat because I love his opinions on football and I love talking to him. Alan Park said Wilson clearly doesn't want to be at Liverpool, so we'd move him on. Imagine if we signed De Ligt, Bruno and Pepe. You're going to be disappointed when I get around to De Ligt in a couple of minutes, I think, Sarah. But sorry, I don't mean to be the bad news bearer. I don't mean to be the James Pearce of the stream, and I love James Pearce, so obviously I'm saying that with absolute respect for the man. Greetings from Dubai. How are you, Denzel, mate? Welcome in. I'd love Wilson at Leeds. Think he's an excellent footballer. Said every day is me. There is something actually on you, mate. You said you've been linked to Harry Wilson, which is true, but I'd also seen links to Leeds United too, and I'll get to more comments, by the way, on Harry Wilson. I will go back through them. Liverpool have been linked to selling Ryan Kent, as you guys know, in this window, and Aston Villa and Leeds are apparently interested in signing Ryan Kent. Rangers obviously want to keep him there, but Liverpool are pricing him somewhere between the 12 and 14 million pound bracket, and that seems to be a little bit out of what Rangers can afford at this moment in time. So it makes perfect sense. Leeds United, Aston Villa, two good clubs that would appeal, I suppose, to Ryan Kent, who wants to go and prove himself now. He said he's fed up with coming back in pre-season and then getting loaned back out again. He just wants to put down roots. So Leeds or Aston Villa would probably be a good move for him, and I'll be interested to see what happens there. Again, though, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. And let me get back into your comments on... Sorry, let me get back into your comments on Harry Wilson. GLAD78, are you friends with Mark Goldbridge? From a content making perspective, yes. I mean, I don't go around to his house for a cup of tea, but yes, I've done stuff with Mark a few times and will probably do more stuff with him going forward. I think he's a very nice lad, and he's been very helpful to us on the channel. I want to point that out as well. Just think Wilson might come back to bite us in the arse, said Domestic Butler. Again, there is that option though, mate, a first refusal clause or a buyback clause, and I don't think he will. I mean, I'm just thinking, we've said this about Suso, and we've said this about so many other players as well. Most notably Jordan Ibe, I suppose. Recently we thought it might happen as well, and we did insert that clause in his contract, and he hasn't come back to bite us in the arse yet, so interesting to see what happens. Denzel said, Craig, a suggestion would send all youth on loan to Rangers to work with CVG if we want them to be Liverpool manager. Yeah, but it's the standard of football, mate. That's the problem. The whole idea about loaning a player out is that you're going to get him to play similar style of football to you if at all possible, but at the highest possible level. And some of the pitches in Scotland and some of the level of football is just shocking. I mean, you've got obviously Hearts, Aberdeen, Celtic, Rangers, and probably a couple more, Hibernian maybe, they play a decent level of football, but after that there's a massive drop off. And yes, we've seen players go up to play with Stevie G, but it's probably not the right move for us long term if we're really looking to develop players. We could use Wilson as part of a deal for Maddison, suggests Adam Parks. I mean, there's definitely an idea in there. Andrew Childerhouse said, I'm good with Ryan Kent leaving. I really don't think he's good enough for Liverpool. All the best to him. And yeah, I think he deserves the chance as well to go and prove himself. What have we got? We have 370 odd people watching right now. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button and drop a thumbs up as well. How do I like my tea? As coffee. Connor, I don't drink tea, mate. I'm a coffee drinker. Strong, though. Very strong. I don't think Wilson's good enough personally, said Kyle Dunn. Jay Kismet said, keep Wilson, training with the first team day in, day out will be much better than Lallana, who hasn't done anything for us, which is just plain nonsense, mate. I'm sorry. But to say Adam Lallana has done nothing for us is just wrong on so many fucking levels. When Jurgen Klopp came into this football club, Adam Lallana was one of the most important players in what Jurgen Klopp was doing. And the fact that he had an injury prone 12 months, 18 months, it kind of does skew, I suppose, some of the memories of Lallana. But to say that he's done nothing for us, it's just wrong. I'm sorry. He's very important, or was very important, to what Jurgen Klopp did when he got to this football club. Himself and Bobby Firmino were so important in the press, and especially when we were going out and out pressing, like the absolute Gegen pressing, and when Jurgen Klopp first came in. So I think Wilson, your views on Wilson, by the way, I mean, absolutely could go either way, but just I think that's a bit disrespectful to Adam Lallana, mate, personally. Just buy Timo Werner and Ruben Neves. Yes, I mean, that'll do me grand. Or Fanzo, I'd go with that. Sell both Harry Wilson and Ryan Kent with a buyback clause. There won't be one in Ryan Kent's contract. He just wants out, mate. He just wants to leave because he knows he's no future here, and you can't blame him. He's every right to go and want to put down roots. To be fair, Kent will be playing in Europe as well, said Liam Hunter. Yeah, Rangers can't afford him though, Liam. That's the thing. They haven't got 12 or 14 million, and I think what I'd seen was, and they definitely want to keep him, Stephen Gerrard and Gary McAllister are very impressed with him, and they want to take him back on loan. And Liverpool and him, I think, just want a deal to be done that allows him to put down roots at this moment in time. And I don't know if Rangers can afford it. Domestic Porter, let me know when you want to come down, Craig, when you want to come down so we can sort things out. Really looking forward to seeing you and Sabrina. It probably isn't going to be till the latter part of the year, mate, maybe early next year, because we're going to Turkey in July, we're going to Tenerife in October, and family finances aside, mate, we've got to make sure we can afford everything as well. But we do want to come over and see you guys, of course, and we have something in mind, but we just want to make sure that it's all okay finance wise before we commit to anything. But I cannot tell you how much we appreciate the offer, and we do want to come over and say hello to yourself and your good lady wife, because Sabrina wants to buy you a pint and say thank you for everything you've done. I'm a Motherwell fan, Craig. You forget VVD and Madison Wayama all made their name in Scotland. I mean, I'm not saying, John, that decent players haven't gone through the Scottish League. Henrik Larsson was absolutely phenomenal up there. I'm just saying that if we're loaning players out to the Scottish League, I think we'd be better off loaning them to Premier League clubs if at all possible. Again, but it also comes down to the style of football the teams look to play. And yes, I didn't forget the VVD Moneyama and that made the name in Scotland, but they made the name pretty much at one club as well in Celtic. Who at the time were playing in Champions League and were probably even at a higher level than they are now. Reckon you'll get Pepe though? What a signing he'll be, said Busby's number one babe. On Pepe, right, this is where I run a little bit unstuck tonight because I don't have anything on Nicolas Pepe. Nothing at all, to be honest. So I'm turning this over to you guys. Have you seen anything on Nicolas Pepe? Anything new? Anything that you want to talk about? Any rumours that you want to share? Because I haven't got a fucking clue. I haven't got a clue about Pepe at this moment in time. I've seen the stuff from the guy that broke the Fabinho transfer that said it looks like he is Liverpool bound. I've also seen stuff that said we've no interest in him. So I'll turn it over to you guys. Remember when you used to call Mark Goldbridge Gark Mulbridge? Yes, I do. I've actually had these conversations with him as well. Adam Lallana wants to stay in fight for his place, which is a good sign, Connor. And, you know, if he can prove his fitness, then why not? Any good podcasts out today? That went out yesterday, didn't it, Brian? Oh, today. Sorry. Yes. Duh. Silly me. When you say podcast, I get confused. I told you guys that myself and Connor and Brian filmed a segment on Virgil van Dijk and whether he deserves to win the Ballon d'Or. That's already gone out, so that is in the channel today. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, it's only, I think, about 15, 18 minutes long, something like that. Let me know in the comments if you have a watch of it what you think. Do you think he deserves to win the Ballon d'Or? It was interesting to hear Brian and Connor's thoughts on this, so please do check that out as well. And before I came on tonight, I recorded another segment with Cash. So I'll put that out over the next couple of days as well. We talked about transfers. We talked about the UEFA story about the new concussion rule that's going to come in. We spoke about something that I'm going to speak about on here as well, which is the ridiculous ticket prices that are being charged for fans of the preseason tour of America. And I'll get to those prices in a few minutes. But if we've any American Reds that are watching, we haven't forgotten about you, don't worry. You know on here we're a massive advocate for overseas fans, and it's one of the reasons we started the channel is to try and give everybody a voice. And I feel that sometimes overseas fans are overlooked or forgotten about, not by the club, but when it comes time to the Liverpool fan base as a whole. And we've always wanted to embrace overseas fans, and because I know the dedication and the levels that some of you guys go through to watch games, and it is fucking nuts. What else we got? Southgate's an idiot. Keep Kyle Walker ahead of Trent, said Davey. Yeah, well, look, if he does, he is an idiot, Davey, to be quite honest about it, mate, because Trent Alexander-Arnold is infinitely better than Kyle Walker. And if anybody disagrees with that, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Craig, can I ask if 6 times is sunk in? Yeah, I'm still loving watching all the videos of Madrid. I cannot wait until Liverpool play their next match. And definitely got to go to some of the Boss Nights. The Boss Nights events are amazing. I cannot say enough for them. It was brilliant. I had so much fun at the one in Liverpool before the guys headed off to Madrid. Has it sunk in yet? I think it kind of has, mate, if I'm being honest, over the last couple of days. And like you, I've been just watching videos and videos and videos of all the amazing things, fan stories, people's journeys over, the goals. I mean, I've seen probably every clip that you guys have seen, but it'll never get old. That much I can say, Papandu. It'll never get old that we've done it. And for me, I just felt that once we beat Barcelona, in my head, I felt we were going to do it. I thought that was our final. I don't mean to be disrespectful to Spurs, but we were going into that as favourites, so I expected us to beat Spurs in the final, if I'm being honest. And the Barcelona semi-final second leg is the moment of the entire Champions League for me this season. I'll never forget that night as long as I live. It was just sensational to see Barcelona collapse like that, and a Liverpool team without Bobby Firmino to bring them to their knees. And that'll never grow old with me, never. What's the news on De Ligt, asks Epic Gamer. Rightio, let me just grab my notes. Right, so look, the news on De Ligt isn't probably what a lot of people are going to want to hear. Again, though, all I'm doing is taking stuff that I've read in the media. So what's come out today is that Mino Raiola, who was, of course, Matthijs de Ligt's agent, said that, let me just get this. He's only been linked to Liverpool apparently because Mino Raiola wants to get more money elsewhere and wants to basically get the 11 or so million that Barcelona seem to refuse to be willing to pay him, and that's the reason he's been hawked around other clubs, that they're just trying to wait for this deal to come through. In fact, they go as far as to say Liverpool have no real interest in the Dutchman, mainly due to the fact that the club thinks Joe Gomez is equally as talented. And this is according to Danny Gallagher of Sky Sports, who shared the news on Twitter after the Nations League match yesterday. And I took this story from Empire of the Cop, so again, I always try and give credit when I take a story from somewhere, because somebody's taken the time to write that article, and it's only right they get credit for it. So Mino Raiola, who I dislike very, very much, seems like he's pulling the most agenty thing in the world and just basically kind to threaten Barcelona to an extent that his player will go elsewhere if they don't give him the rumoured 11 million signing on fee that Mino Raiola wants his greasy little palms to be rubbed with. It's not unusual. We heard stories from the Echo saying that Liverpool are happy with their centre-back options. And one thing that we cannot forget when we talk about this, I've said before, when a player like De Ligt becomes available, you want to be in that conversation. But also, we cannot forget about young Kiana Hoover. And he's been very impressive since joining the club from Ajax. He might be a couple of years behind in his development from where De Ligt is right now, but that doesn't mean that he won't develop to that level, if not even further than De Ligt. So I can understand Jurgen Klopp keeping faith in Joe Gomez and in Joel Matip, in Dejan Lovren to an extent, and then looking for Kiana Hoover to come through as well. Makes sense if he believes that highly in young Kiana Hoover, and it looks like he does. So what do you guys think? As I always said from day one, you can look back through the streams, my belief was always that he will sign for Barcelona. Matthijs de Ligt, I'd never seen him really coming to Liverpool. The stories have been put out there. What do you guys think? And what do you really think? Don't give me the answer that you hope. What do you think he'll sign, really? Or do you think he'll end up at Barcelona? Zero on Pepe, said Brian Morrissey. It's all gone quiet. Trent will surpass Roberto Carlos as the best fullback ever, said Tussie. That is, wow, that's a massive show. It's kind of ridiculous that Yankee Stadium friendly in Lisbon is the cheapest. I'll get to that, Arnav. I will get to the stuff on the Liverpool pre-season tour and the ridiculous ticket prices, mate. I promise you. Just give me a couple of minutes on this one and I'll get to it. And I've stuff on Cruce as well, Tussie. I won't forget you either, mate. Let's trust Kiana Hoover, said Liverpool legend. The only con of buying De Ligt would be getting Mino Raiola's sticky fingers on Liverpool, said Connor. Yeah. I keep going back to this whole deal. For those of you that don't know, the rumoured amount that he got paid to take Paul Pogba from Juventus to Manchester United was 22 or 23 million pound. 23 million pound for an agent. And that's roughly what, 22, 23% of the cost of that deal to take Paul Pogba back to Manchester United. That is a ridiculous amount of money to be taken out of the game and handed to a greasy fucker like Mino Raiola. Yeah, I don't like it, but it is part of the game, so we can't be naive about these things either. But I just don't see De Ligt coming to Liverpool. There's no reliable English journals that I've seen that have said that we're genuinely interested in him. Kiana Hoover will be better than De Ligt, a Liverpool legend. It looks like Raiola is shipping De Ligt to the highest bidder, which is that in his best interest, Gary? This is what gets me about agents at times. Agents are supposed to be there to work on behalf of their clients, for their clients. And so many times it seems to be that the agents are only looking after number one. And it's getting to a point where, okay, if he's at a club 2 or 3 years, well then if I move him on somewhere else, I'm going to get infinitely more than if he just signs up to a new contract at the club that he's already at. So a lot of the time I would question whether agents have the best interest of the players at heart. Now, I know there are probably so many, I say probably, there are definitely an awful lot of really good agents that are working out there and working very hard for their clients, maybe more so at the lower levels of the game. But right at the top levels, it does seem like Pina Xavi, Mino Raiola, Jorge Mendes and Kia Jarapchin have a massive influence and a massive reach with clubs and a massive reach of how far their loyalty to certain clubs will go, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit, but it is part of the modern game, so it's tough for me to sit here and ridicule the situation when, as I've rightly said, we've paid out the most money of any Premier League club in the past year to agents, and we have to remember that when we're talking about this, because we can't just be sanctimonious and just, sit on our fucking mighty high horse and just look down on people, because we are part of the problem. Eugene Wallace said no to De Ligt. No, just bust the wage scale, let Barca have him. And the problem with De Ligt as well is, Eugene, if you get him in now, mate, and you're giving him 150, 200 grand a week at 19, what happens at 21, at 23, at 25? Because he's going to want to renegotiate probably every 2 years, which isn't uncommon for players. It's just got to go up and up and up. And then when he's 25, 26, you've got to be paying him world record wages probably. Do you know how much the game against Napoli at Murrayfield in Scotland is? I don't, mate. I haven't done that research, Max. Sorry. If it's comparable to the ticket prices when they came to Dublin, probably the highest price tickets around 70 quid. Family tickets probably a little bit cheaper, maybe 25 quid each, something like that. But again, that's guesswork, mate. Eugene Wallace, no to De Ligt. And what else have we got? Raiola gave us Balotelli, yeah. And how can we ever forget that? Fucking Balotelli. The most disappointing thing about Balotelli was that he had no mad moments when he was at Liverpool. No fireworks in the bathroom moments. He'd fuck all on the pitch as well, to be fair. Farrell said, don't think we'll get De Ligt, but our trio will worry about their fitness. We need at least one versatile defensive player minimum. Busby's number one babe said, nah, if you ever want me, you can speak to me about ticket prices. I go to every pre-season game as a United fan and have a lot to say about this sort of bollocks. Yeah, you're obviously a fan that's in the UK, mate, if I'm right in saying this. Excuse me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's always great to get input on all these type of things, mate. And it's easy for me to just sit here and preach from a Liverpool perspective, but maybe United fans around the world are being ripped off as well when it comes to these type of overseas friendlies. And they are just glorified friendlies, even if they do try and disguise them as pre-season tournaments from time to time. Pepe Red said, Raiola is a fucking parasite. I love the fact that we can swear on the stream, by the way. I do love it, especially even if I'm just reading out other people swearing. Lloyd said, the Ligt transfer would disrupt the whole dressing room in regards to his wages. Yeah, that is probably true as well. At 19, I keep saying his wages are only going to go one way. And can he come in then and justifiably demand more money than Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's 20 years of age and has improved massively and has been in back-to-back Champions League finals and is one of the greatest fullbacks in Europe already? Is it right that we would have Matthijs de Ligt come in and double Trent's wages possibly? I don't think so. I don't think he's earned that right. I think Trent would want to be on parity, and probably rightly so. He's asking for an £11 million bribe. Well, we can't say the word bribe, Dave, but he wants his dirty little fingers greased with around the tune of 11 million. It seems to be the correct way of assuming, or the correct amount I should say. Elliot Santos said, Wolves Ruben Neves is perfect fit for us, extremely skillful, hard working, disciplined, with a season in the Premier League already under his belt. He is a Coutinho type player we definitely need. He absolutely is not a Coutinho type player, mate, in any way, shape or form. He plays much deeper than Felipe Coutinho plays. He's a quality operator, 100%, and I would love us to sign him. And we do have an in there, as I keep saying. Pep and Linders coached them for 6 or 7 years at Porto. And I like Ruben Neves. I like him a lot. We were linked to him when he was 16 or 17 years of age coming through a Porto. And he's developed steadily, and his set pieces are phenomenal, and he's that kind of Regista style midfielder that would absolutely do well for us. But I've always said, if we were to ever go in and look to sign him, it will probably mean an end to Marko Grujic, who I have a little bit of news on as well that I'll get to in a few minutes. Craig, you need to interview James Pearce one day. I've already done it, Tony. We did it on a podcast previously. James Pearce. We had a section where we spoke to people that we respected and liked in the media, and we spoke to James Pearce, we spoke to Paul Tompkins, we spoke to what's the guy's name that does all the stats? Andrew. Oh, I can't think of his name. And we had a couple of people in that segment, and James Pearce was one of them, and it was great fun chatting to him. He's a really nice guy. But I do, as I said, I'm working on something over the summer. I kind of semi have an agreement in place with somebody for later in the summer, and I don't want to give away too much, but an interview that I'm going to be over the moon if I get over the line, because I'd love to chat to this guy. But I don't want to give too much away because it hasn't been confirmed yet. VVD, Trent Alexander-Arnold, a Robbo injury, and we're in deep doo-doo, said Farrell. Yeah, probably. Depends how long the injury is for. But it's going to be very hard to then go out and get a player, maybe not at centre back, but let's look at the full back options, to go out and get a player and say, We need absolute quality, but you're going to be sitting on the bench for a good chunk of the season because fullbacks, defenders don't seem to be rotated anywhere near as much as a front player or a midfielder. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. Tough. I don't think we're going to bring in a centre back, if I'm being honest, for a while. But the fullback situation is definitely something we need to look at. Gary Richards said no, it isn't, Craig. I don't know what the no, it isn't is in relation to Gary. We've such a good choice of central attacking midfielders to choose from: Isco, James, Fernandes, Ziyech or Fekir. What's happening with Fekir? Nothing that I've seen, mate. Absolutely nothing other than he's allowed to leave Lyon this summer, and Jean-Michel Aulas has said that there's an agreement in place that will allow Nabil Fekir to leave the club. I think family members make the best agents, said Saeed. Yes, I would agree that they would definitely have the interest of the player at heart, but then again, it's very tough if there's a disagreement there, isn't there, as well? I lost respect for De Ligt and Raiola, said Liverpool legend. Let them stick their 250 grand a week up their arse. Cape Town Muslim said, prefer Gomez to De Ligt. You're not the first person, mate, that I've heard to say that, by the way. I've talked to a couple of Reds who think that, and it seems like Liverpool believe that as well. And is there that much of a difference in quality between De Ligt and Gomez, if any, that we should be going out and looking to drop 70 million quid on them? I don't know. When you see Harry Maguire being quoted as 80 million quid to Manchester United or Manchester City, it's nuts. And we got Van Dijk for 75 million and people were saying it was a ridiculous amount at the time. Well, it looks like an absolute bargain now because it was an absolute bargain. Papandu said De Ligt will go to Barcelona. I think Liverpool are in for a Fekir-like player. It remains to be seen how Klopp sees the demands of the additional matches to be played next season as to how many. At the most, it seems like 72, I believe, mate, is the maximum amount of games we can play next season if we were to go right the way to the final at every competition. Right, let me get some more news for you guys. Slabhead's not worth 80 million, said Adam Parks. Andrew Beasley, that is definitely the one. Brian Morrissey, yes, that is the gentleman I was trying to think of, thank you. Ban the use of all agents. Well, there is a need for them in the game, to be fair, mate. I just don't like the fact that clubs pay them. I think the players should be solely responsible for paying their agents. Gomez started last season very well. It's just the unknown injury part. It is that, yeah. He's had two that I can remember, two pretty serious injuries that have kept him out for quite a long time, but there's no doubt in the guy's quality. Joe Gomez, or Jomez as we like to call him, is absolutely top level. Gomez can be great if he can stay healthy, said Andrew. I think Lallana should be gone by now. We need better. It's harsh, but we need quality. I don't disagree with that, Tony, mate. All I was disagreeing with earlier on was the fact that somebody said that Lallana was useless to the club, which I don't think he was, but I'm fully with you on the fact that I think it's time to move Adam Lallana on as well. I've been saying that for a couple of months now. I think he'd still command a decent fee for him, and I think we should be looking to strengthen there. If we move him on, we should be looking to absolutely strengthen. Oh, Aziz is in. How are you, mate? I want to say a massive thank you again to Aziz Khan, who sponsored Sabrina for her Dublin Ladies Mini Marathon for cystic fibrosis. I know she had a chance, mate, to say thank you to you, but I don't know if I have. I don't know if I've caught up with you since the stream again. So I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you very much for that very generous donation to Sabrina. And she's gone past her target now, which is class. But the link is still below if anybody does want to help out Sabrina. She was doing that run with, again, for Cystic Fibrosis Ireland, and the link is in the stream notes below. A couple of shout outs as well. I want to say a shout out to obviously Connor, to Brian, to Dave, to Chris, to Cash, to everybody associated with the podcast. Mo Salah Facts, a friend of ours from Twitter. Go and check out that account as well. It's just at Mo Salah Facts. Some really good Liverpool related stuff on there. I'll probably miss a few shout outs as well that I'm supposed to do because my mind's all over the place at the minute, ladies and gents. I'm absolutely cream crackered, and I probably seem a little bit off the pace today, and for that I apologise. I'm just shattered. I'm really tired. Is that official? Wilson as part of the squad next season? Part of the squad? I don't know, mate. The Premier League, you don't have to put your squad into the Premier League yet, so he's going to go on the pre-season tour, Maverick, by the looks of it, from what I've read today. De Ligt should accept 150 grand a week and prove he's worth giving a pay rise. Again, we're just guessing. None of us really know what De Ligt wants. We do know that Mino Raiola is a greedy fucker, though. That much I think we can safely say. Where's Aziz Khan? I wanted to read his comment out, but my chat just completely skipped because my computer is having a meltdown. Aziz, mate, I'm so sorry. I can't find your comment again. Scroll. There it is. They should cap agents' fees, which wouldn't be a bad idea. But again, they'd probably still find some other way around it, mate, wouldn't they? The greasy fuckers. Imagine winning 7 trophies in one season, said Connor. Yeah, look, mate, I'll take 2 next season. It would be great. I'm licking my chops at the prospect of Van Dijk and Gomez next year. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if we see a step up again defensively from Liverpool, said Papandu. Yeah, I mean, it is a class pairing. There's no two ways about it. Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold with Alisson behind them. That's one of the best in the world. I might be blowing this up a little bit, but it's class. It is absolutely class. And if they can all stay fit, wow. We've already seen our defensive numbers this season are class. Gomez is very composed, said EJ Eston Aktok. Fucking hell, mate. Eston Aktok. Sorry, I can't pronounce that one. If Levy offers us Son and Eriksen for 200 million, would you pay it? No. Because one, Eriksen has 1 year left on his deal, so you're gonna get him for probably 40 odd million. And I'm not paying 160 million for Son, even though I absolutely adore Son as a footballer and would love him at Liverpool. I think he's perfect for what we do, but that's too much money. I mean, you probably want to be 120 million would definitely be something I'd consider for those two, but I love Son at Liverpool. Why do you think years ago more used to go to football matches? I don't understand the context of the question. Why do you think years ago more used to go to football matches? Because standing in the stadiums, maybe, I'm guessing, Tony, because bigger capacities. I'm sorry, mate, I just don't get the context of the question. With Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita coming back, our midfield is fine. Gomez defends better than De Ligt. Go all out for Pepe and Mbappe. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get Mbappe, mate. As much as I'd love him, and my God, would I love him, I just don't think we're going to get him. Is it official? I've done that one. Gonzalo Higuain can't seem to find a club. Club seem to be backing away. What's with that? Well, he's over the hill, to be honest, John. I don't know what went on with him and Sarri at Chelsea, but it wasn't a good fit, and he didn't get much game time. He was at AC Milan, so he was moved on from Juventus. In his peak, Gonzalo Higuain was absolutely sensational, but there was still doubts about him at the on the big occasions. There was a belief that he didn't show up at sometimes the big occasions, but you can't argue with the man's numbers, but he's past it for me and is not a player I think we should be touching at all. Do you think Brewster will play in the Super Cup or the Community Shield? Yeah, I would say he will get game time. Probably Community Shield more likely, Gary. It's a glorified pre-season friendly. I know people want to take it seriously because it's against Manchester City and people believe it could lay down a psychological marker ahead of the season, but I don't give a shit about the Community Shield if I'm being honest, so I would love Brewster to get game time. I care more about the Super Club and the Club World Cup. Club World Cup mainly because we've never won that competition, so it would be nice to go and win that, but I'm expecting big things from Ryan Brewster this season, Gary. I think the sky's the limit for that kid, I really do. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but I cannot say how highly I rate him. Yasar said, I heard Origi, Milner, Robbo, Van Dijk, Matip and Trent are all getting contract extensions. Did Trent not sign a contract recently enough? But of the names you've mentioned there, give them all new contracts, Yasser. Absolutely. Every single one of them deserve a contract. I cannot disagree with any of them. Milner has a year left. Will he get another extension for another year? That would bring him to 35 because I think James Milner's 33 right now. But again, you're talking about a man that has ridiculous fitness levels and is kind of like the Benjamin Button of a footballer, isn't he? He just gets better and better with age. So of all those players, mate, yes, give them all new contracts. No problem whatsoever with me. Shabir, good evening to you, buddy. Welcome in. And hello to everybody that might be joining us for the first time or is watching us in different parts of the world. We've gone up over 430 people watching at the minute, so I just want to take a moment to say thank you to everybody, and I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you're enjoying the stream. If you're somebody that just sits back and doesn't like to comment, maybe just let us know where in the world you're watching, because as I always say, I love to know where I'm talking to Reds from and where they're watching. And if you're coming in for the first time and you were enjoying the stream and you're getting to see how amazing our subscribers are in the chat, because let's face it, they quite simply are amazing people, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. We're only 10 subscribers away from our next 100 target. We're edging towards 17k this season, or this summer I should say. So every single one of those subscriptions means the world to us. And a reminder that all our content on here is free. It's always going to be free. We've even removed Patreon, as I spoke about the other day, because it just didn't feel right for us. And we want people to know that everything on here is going to be free no matter what. We're going to work our way around it. We're going to work with companies. We're going to work with sponsors. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that the content remains free, because it's been a passion of Connor and mine since day one that the content is free. 432 views, jeez. Well, there's 432 watching, mate. We usually get about, it's mad actually, since the season ended, we're averaging about, on the nightly streams, between 5 and 8,000 views of our nightly streams, which for us is very humbling, to be honest. It's great. It's not that long ago that we were getting 1,000 average views and was delighted with that, and we were getting 500 and delighted with that. So to be up now where we are, it's the loyalty that we get and the buy-in that we get from our subscribers is why I work so hard on here, and it's why I'm on here every single night, because I feel like I have a debt to you guys, a debt that I will forever be continuing to try and repay, because as I say, you've done so much for me personally from a confidence perspective and stuff, that I love you all, and I think other people will learn to love you if they're coming in for the first time as well, because it's a special group of people on here. And we might all be in different places, we might all have different views at times, and fuck it, we might disagree on a lot of stuff as well. And you know, I go off the rails from time to time. I say stupid shit. I try not to say stupid shit that gets us thrown off YouTube, but you know, I am a kind of opinionated person. But we do love you. We do love each and every one of you. And yeah, this is lovely to be on here chatting to you all. I know you're probably sick of me saying that, but I just want you to fucking know it, because I mean it. I don't take this for granted. I don't take being able to come on here and talk to you wonderful people for granted. It means a lot. It means an absolute lot. Ribena is the fountain of youth, said Sean W. From hearing Brewster speak, it sounds like he has set the bar high for himself, and I like that, said Gary Richards. Yeah, he seems... You want that little mix, don't you, of belief and arrogance, because you need arrogance to play at the top level as a footballer. And I like the kid. I really like the kid, and the fact that we worked so hard to get him to sign that first professional contract, I think speaks volumes of how highly the club rate him as well. And he does seem like a really down-to-earth good kid as well, which is important. Gary Jenkins said, I don't think our owners want second-rate players. They trust Klopp. He seems to improve players, but Klopp has a history of chasing Mbappe. I truly think that's who they're after. Gary, oh mate, I cannot tell you how much I would love Kylian Mbappe. I mean, that would be it. Like, there would be, I don't know what to say, mate. That's it. Give me Kylian Mbappe and just shut the doors. I don't care if we don't sign a single other player. Kylian Mbappe would be more than a statement. It would be, I don't even know what the fucking phrase I'm trying to say is here. It would be just everything. I don't see it happening, but how I would love it to happen. I mean, from his perspective as well, he would be, of course, I'm sure he's idolised at PSG, but he'd be idolised on a completely different level. He'd be idolised by the best fans in the world, but I really don't believe he's going to come to Liverpool, if I'm being honest. But we can but hope. Andrew said Trent's not going anywhere. He's the one guy I'm never worried about leaving, and I'm with you. He wants to be here for life. He deserves to be here for life, and he deserves to be the captain of this football club someday as well. Pranav's watching from Chicago. How are you, mate? Pro Club's gameplay watching from Ireland. Lots of love right to you guys, to America and to Ireland, of course. Would you consider... let's try this again. Craig, would you consider Daniel Sturridge a legend? No. And here's why. The word legend, to me, means an awful lot. Like, to use the word legend at a club where you've seen Kenny Dalglish, Graham Souness, Alan Hansen, Stephen Gerrard, Phil Thompson, Jamie Carragher, Emlyn Hughes, I mean, Ian Callaghan, you could just go back through the years. The word legend. At another club, maybe Daniel Sturridge would go down as a legend, but our level, to become a legend, I think is very, very high, much like Manchester United. No, I wouldn't. I would look back on him very fondly, and he's a guy that I actually really like. I'm glad he played for Liverpool Football Club, and Daniel Sturridge was one of the most naturally gifted goal scorers I've seen. Scored some amazing goals, done some great stuff. Never forget 13-14. But for me, Tom, no, not a legend, but definitely a pleasure to have had him at the football club. Elliot Santos said, if we need a great young winger who could be great cover, look no further than Villarreal, Samuel Chukwueze. He ticks all of the boxes. And we have certainly been linked to him, mate. 19 years of age, I believe. Isn't he gone? Is he going to the AFCON as well over the summer? The thing about Chukwueze that I've read is that he wants to go to a club where he will be guaranteed playing time, and I don't know if anybody at Liverpool will ever guarantee anybody playing time, but he does seem to be the mould of player, mate, that we will definitely be keeping an eye on, so it is a good show. Godfrey's watching from Calgary. How are you, mate? I will get to Calgary someday, mate, over the next 18 months, myself and Connor. Yeah, we want to get over there, meet up with Larry and the Calgary Supporters Club, who have been very supportive of this channel since the very early days. So, again, we do want to get over and say hi. Dorian saying, from Hamburg, Germany, was in Liverpool for the final, stood at the Strand for 4 hours, worth it. That's what I'm saying about dedication. That is what I'm saying about fans outside of the UK sometimes get overlooked for the... And look, there are some... The people that go to the match week in, week out are amazing, don't get me wrong, but I've always had an affinity for fans, whether it be in Europe or Ireland or in America or Australia, because of the, like, I've got to be honest about this. We can take stuff for granted as football fans that are on the same time zone as the games, and when I hear of the dedication shown by fans around the world, and just taking an example here of Dorian, who came over from Germany just to stand there and be in Liverpool for the final and to be there for the parade. That's dedication, and that has to be respected, and I absolutely love it, and it's why I think we have some of the greatest fans in the world. And I don't care what anybody else says from any other club. I don't give a shit if they come in trolling us and say fuck your fans. I don't give a shit, because I get to see and live and breathe with Liverpool fans every single day of the week, and they just are unparalleled. I don't care what anyone says. Sturridge had a legendary season once, but not consistent enough to be a full legend, said Celtic CC. Fowler. Fowler's my favourite Liverpool player of all time, Danny. Absolute legend. Love him. Most natural goal scorer I've ever seen play for this football club. I adore Robbie Fowler. I'm not saying he's the greatest player that ever played for Liverpool. I'm just saying personally he's my favourite player. Would you consider Michael Owen a legend? No, I would consider him England's Michael Owen, is how I would remember him. But again, I don't want to take away from the calibre of footballer that Michael Owen was, because he was an excellent footballer. Pro Club's gameplay, you're from Newbridge, mate. Wow, not too far away. Maybe an hour's drive from where I am, an hour 15 minutes. If we brought Mbappe, which we won't, would you drop Bobby? No. Again, we're talking about dropping players when we need a squad, but if we're talking about a starting 11, I'd drop Bobby deeper, but I wouldn't drop him completely. I'd probably push Sadio Mane through the centre, and have Kylian Mbappe and Mo Salah coming in from wider positions with Bobby in behind. Craig Crosby said, I think Oxlade-Chamberlain played a big part in Brewster signing the contract, as they spend a lot of time together during rehabilitation. Yeah, that's a good shout. They definitely had a bit of a bromance going on there during the rehabilitation, but yeah, there was some cracking videos of the two of them, and they inspired each other, I think, during the rehabilitation, which is a good shout, Craig. Well in. Mbappe will probably be the first £400 million transfer, said Connor Dara. Bernadette Farrell, Craig, you're a thoroughly decent human being, and Sabrina, I mean that sincerely. My wife is the fucking best in the world, bar none. I have to say that. The support she gives me and the backing, and from day one, she's amazing. I fucking love my wife so much. I cannot say that enough. Yeah, she's an amazing woman. She's an amazing mother. She's an amazing human being. I'm a dickhead, to be honest, Bernadette, a lot of the time. I'm an absolute Marmite human being, but you're right on my wife. She's an absolute superstar. Dominus, how are you, buddy? Manchester City fan who regularly drops in and says hello. I hope you're keeping well, mate. Let's re-sign Pepe Reina from AC Milan. Great character, great backup, great inspiration / teacher for Camille Gabara, Queeveen Kelleher. Yes, and yes, Elliot. I've said this the other night. I think that would be a masterstroke if we moved on Simon Mignolet. I mean, imagine the training ground there with Alisson and Pepe Reina working on their distribution skills. And then, as you said, you've got Queeveen Kelleher, Camille Grabara, and Shamal George learning off them as well. Mate, if you're talking about some of the, along with, of course, Ederson at Manchester City, some of the best goalkeepers with the ball at their feet that you will ever see. So Pepe Reina and Alisson working together, yes, mate. I don't care how old he is. I mean, I'm all over that. Yeah, he's the same age as myself, actually, Pepe Reina. I think he's 37. But yeah, I would love that. I keep watching the Champions League trophy lift celebration on YouTube. Can't wipe the smile off my face. You've got me smiling here, Remy, just thinking about it. One of the best celebrations ever. Seeing Jordan Henderson lifting all big ears above his head was a special moment for me. And seeing him sharing that moment with his father, who, as I'm sure you guys know, was very unwell for a while, suffering with cancer. That was one of my memorable moments of that Champions League final. Just that lovely embrace between a father and son. And Hendo didn't want to let go. It was beautiful to see. I think if I don't know how many parents we have in the chat, but as parents, we can relate to that and what that must feel like. Yeah, it was great. It was lovely to see. A genuinely heartwarming moment. None of this fucking over the top, elaborate nonsense. That was a father and son who'd been through a lot together, celebrating a moment that I think Brian, his father, said that when he was 8 or something, he brought Jordan Henderson to the final of the Champions League, and I think he said it was 2 Italian teams were playing at the time, and Hendo turned around to his dad and said, I'm going to play in the Champions League final. I'm going to lift that trophy. And he fucking did, you know. He did, through pure graft and determination and sheer iron will, which is why Jordan Henderson doesn't get the respect from some people that I think he deserves. And he will go down in folklore as a Liverpool European Cup winning captain, and nobody can take that away from that man. Nobody. And I'm so happy for him. Thoughts on Rabiot? It's so quiet, is my thoughts on Adrien Rabiot, mate. He's been linked to every club, every top club in Europe. Liverpool, United, Spurs, back to PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid. We know, as you said, that he is a fan of Liverpool. We've seen the Instagram posts and stuff of him showing how much he loves Anfield and the crowd. I don't know what his wage demands are, but I would think there's better options out there than Rabiot at this moment in time, because I suppose we could be tempted to say he's on a free, but he really isn't on a free. As you said, he'd want a big signing on fee. His wages are probably going to be astronomical, but he is a very good footballer. I will say that about him. I just don't think we need him. Yeah, I don't think we need him. Is probably where I'd go. Elliot said Chukwueze is the Nigerian squad for the AFCON. He said in Spain, Diario Marca, that he would love to join an English team that's in the Champions League. Hint, hint. Nice, keep an eye on that space then, Elliot. Absolutely. We had seen links, as I said earlier on, to Chukwueze. Now, let me just get on to these ticket prices, because I did say that I wanted to touch on this for a second. And I've more transfer news, by the way. I've still got stuff on Marco Grujic, and I've still got something on Max Cruz as well. So don't go away if this segment isn't for you. Bear with us, because this does affect all Liverpool fans, to be fair. So, yes, right. So this, I read this today, and it's not often I'm speechless for a few minutes, but when I read this, I just thought, this is taking the piss. Ticket prices of up to $423 have been heavily criticised for Liverpool's pre-season friendlies this summer. Tickets for the clash with Dortmund in Notre Dame are being sold for as much as $423, including fees, with the friendlies against Sevilla and Boston up to $167 and Sporting in New York up to $186, also heavily priced. Now, I don't know who sets these prices. I don't know if Liverpool are guaranteed a certain amount by a company and they go over and then the prices are set by other companies. I don't know. But for Liverpool fans and Dortmund fans, I suppose, to be asked to shell out $423, now that is the maximum price ticket, I have to say. They're not all that price, but these are genuine tickets, by the way, not on the resale market. These are cost price tickets. For the upper level to be $423 for what is a pre-season game between Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund is nothing short of fucking disgusting. Disgusting. they're absolutely playing on the fact that there's the Jurgen Klopp connection between the two clubs, that there is a joint love of You'll Never Walk Alone and singing of that song. There is a warm feeling between Borussia Dortmund and Liverpool Football Club as well. To be charging or looking to charge 423 quid maximum price. I'm sure there are more affordable tickets. I want to make that very clear. That's disgusting and is a slap in the face to Liverpool fans in America who may well have to drive 4, 5, 6 hours to get to that game. Because I've seen Reds do that. I've seen on other pre-season tours, I've seen stories of Liverpool fans driving halfway across the country just to get a chance to be there and see the Reds up close. I don't ever like to be critical of our football club because I like to aspire or I like to inspire people about a football club, and I like to raise the club up as something of a beautiful thing, which it is. But this is sickening. This is just wrong on so many fucking levels. Even the other prices, 167 for the Sevilla game and 186. Now, I don't know what a regular sporting event costs in America. I don't go to NBA. I've never been to an American football game, and I don't go and watch Major League Baseball. So I've no idea what people are used to paying over there. But what I can say is, when Liverpool come to Dublin, and they've been to the Aviva Stadium probably 4 or 5 times over the past 4 years, and the ticket prices, maximum ticket prices, I would say, off the top of my head, 70 something quid maximum. And I can promise you that there would be uproar if they tried to sell tickets anywhere near that price. So $423 is about 370, 360 euro, something like that, about £320. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And I want to know what you guys think. I want to know if there's any American Reds out there who are going to the games or are thinking of going to the games and have pulled back maybe because of the price of these tickets. I want to know how it affects you. I want to know what your thoughts are about I don't want to say the club selling the tickets because they might not be, but they've certainly been made aware of the price of the tickets, so the club cannot completely wash their hands of these ticket prices. Right, let me get to your comments about this. I hope that I've rabbited on long enough there that I gave you guys to talk. Krishna said, take it easy. The price includes a 4-course dinner with drinks and parking, similar to hospitality tickets at Anfield. Yes, but I'm going to go back around, Krishna, and say this is a pre-season friendly. It's not Liverpool versus Manchester United. This is a friendly. Sean said, I've had to pay $230 and drove 5 hours to the Rose Bowl in California. It was expensive, but it was worth it. There you go. I mean, I'm not absolutely in a position to say if it is or is not worth it, mate. If you paid the $230 and you felt it was worth it, then I'm happy for you, my friend, and I'm glad that you enjoyed that experience. Mark Anthony Vieira said, that's still too much. I don't know why you're telling me to take it easy, Krishna. If you think the 423 quid is okay to get a fucking 4-course meal and watch Liverpool, then sound, mate. You have at it. But that's not the reaction that I've been receiving from fans that I've spoke to for the past day or so about this issue. Last year's NBA final, someone paid 150k for 2 tickets. Well, he's a moron. Quite simply put, whoever paid that 150 grand has more money than sense. I was at a game in New York, $14 for a beer. America's pricey, said Greg. Need to follow the German model for tickets, said Sean W. Triple G wants a Canelo trilogy. Yes, I did see that. I hope it happens as well. Arnav said, I paid $130 last year for Liverpool, Manchester City and New Jersey. I'll probably pay around the same price this year for the Yankee Stadium. So $130 is probably around €110, about £95, something like that, which is high, but I would say that's acceptable for me, mate. And look, that's just my opinion. Mark Henry said that's nuts, too expensive. That's normal for North America, said Andrew. Right now, basketball final tickets are going for around 75 to 100 grand courtside seats. Wow, we live in a mad world, don't we? Saeed said, I'm from Qatar and I'll be interested in the ticket prices for the World Club Cup in Qatar. The maximum ticket price is usually 30 quid. I would say it's probably going to be a little bit more than that, Saeed. Known FIFA, mate. Craig, I saw Murrayfield, Liverpool versus Napoli is £50 for a cheap ticket. Now, that's about what I'd expect. And to be fair to Liverpool, when they came to Dublin, there were family tickets on sale as well. I think, if memory serves me correct, it was 80 quid for a family ticket, I think. which is, I think that's very good value for money. Going to Yankee Stadium, $100 a head, very steep but worth it to see the Reds live, said Andrew. Graham Holmes said, football 30 years ago was never a money motivated game. How times have changed. The top brass of the game do meet and sit downs and come up with a solution to what could become craziness. Hello Liam, by the way, how are you, mate? Did I talk about 6? Not yet, Gary. Did I mention that we won the European Cup 6 times, ladies and gents? I'm not sure if we've covered that one on the stream. It's very important that we get that out of the way. And what if I'm not eating or parking, said Mark Anthony Vieira. I have no idea. The whole parking thing is hilarious as well, isn't it? I mean, the cost of parking to go to these things. That's stupid pricing for a friendly, said Mark Forrest. I don't think we will buy at all. With regards to the transfer window, said Darryl. I'd be amazed, mate, if we didn't strengthen at all. Actually, I think it would be very stupid of the club if we didn't look to strengthen. Because you always want to push on. You can't stand still in this game. Don't you get a bus pass with your match day ticket? In Germany, I believe so, mate. I believe if you have a match day ticket in Germany, you do get public travel included with the price of your ticket. I'm not sure if it's the same in all parts of Germany, but look, Germany is certainly a great model for fans, and the cost of tickets over there is much more affordable. Somebody's saying about the stream. My stream sound at my end, guys. People are saying they had a few issues. It shows that it's live at my end. I hope it's all okay for you. Is Liverpool coming back to Dublin this year? I don't think so, Tony. Not that I've seen, mate. I think with the Charity Shield, the European Super Cup, and the friendlies that they've already lined up, mate, I don't think the Reds will be over this season. I have an exam tomorrow. Wish me luck. Good luck. Look, anyway, I've had my say about the LFC ticket prices for America. If you're watching this back later on, by the way, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're happy to pay these prices and you think that that's okay, brilliant. I just want fans to be happy. And for me, when I've seen these prices, even if, as I think it was Krishna said, that maybe that was a 4-course meal and parking, still, to me, I mean, 4-course meal and parking and watch a friendly for $423 still seems ludicrous to me, if I'm being honest. But then again, my opinion is only that. It's just my opinion. Blaine Byrne said, I went to Liverpool versus Napoli in the Aviva was €90 a ticket. Didn't mind it. That was definitely the highest priced ticket though, Blaine. Without a shadow of a doubt, mate. That had to have been the highest priced ticket. I went to that game as well, but thankfully I was lucky enough to get a media pass. So yeah, that was good. Liverpool made over $200 million this season. They will strengthen. Yeah, just to reiterate the numbers, we posted a profit of over £100 million this season for our end of year tax receipts. We also earned £251 million from television revenue from the Champions League and the Premier League run, so a lot of money as well. Stream is perfect there, Brian, thank you, because it was sound on my end as well, mate. It's only pre-season though, said Dominus Earth. Yes, exactly. And I don't know, for me I was just thinking it was disgusting. Yankee Stadium tickets for pre-season started at $107 up to, am I reading this right, Tom? $776. Is this legitimate, Tom? $776. That's all kinds of wrong, mate. Not you, Tom, I mean for the price of the tickets. That's just ridiculous. US sports ticket prices are crazy. Well, then do you guys not feel a little bit taken advantage of? The fact that I've just told you what we pay over here to go to a friendly. Scotty has told you what the prices are for a ticket to see the game in Murrayfield. And then you guys have been asked to pay at least 50% over for a regular ticket and much more for the more expensive ones. Simon said, I remember paying £3.30 for a match ticket on the gate. I've always told stories, Simon, actually, of people who were able to pay at the gate or buy tickets on the day for the Champions League quarterfinals in 2005, mate. I mean, how times have changed. Right, I said you guys had a little bit more transfer news as well, so thank you for sticking with us through that. And we're only 3 subscribers away from our next 100, so please do hit that button if you're enjoying the stream. I said I've got more news on Marco Grujic and news on Kruse, so which one will I go to first? So Liverpool have ruled out the signing of Werder Bremen captain Max Kruse, not wanting to block the pathway for Ryan Brewster while also having been impressed by the recent form of Divock Origi. That's something I read today, and I'm 99% sure I took that story from the Echo, but If I'm wrong, I do apologise. And that makes perfect sense to me. There was talk of us going and signing the guy, 31 years of age, plays for Werder Bremen, but it would be blocking the pathway for Divock Origi and Ryan Brewster, who have a future. And without being disrespectful to Max Kruse, at 31 years of age, those days for me at Liverpool signing that style of player should be gone, unless it's a James Milner-esque type player, in which case, yes please, but nah, that wouldn't be a solution for me, not at all. I just don't like it, and I'm glad that it's been ruled out, and I hope you guys feel the same, because it just makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense to me. Wish prices could be like Germany, said Arvin Judge. Brian Morrissey reckons we need a backup keeper and a left back. Promote Ryan Brewster. We don't need a lot. This team just got 97 points and won the Champions League. I expect the FIFA World Club Cup to be north of 200 quid, said Saeed. Wow, that's a lot of wedge, mate. Willow, how are you, mate? Welcome in. I know you said you're only just popping in, but hello. The only time I've ever watched the Reds live was in Goldstone Ground, Brighton, Steve Highway, Jimmy Cates, etc. And it was less than a fiver. There you go, mate. Nothing wrong with that. If only those days were still around. Dominus Earth said, do you guys think that Virgil van Dijk should win the Ballon d'Or? My answer is quite simply yes, Dominus. We did do, as I said earlier on, we did post a video on this today, which is on our channel. So if you guys get a chance later on, please do watch that and let me know what you think about it. It was myself, Brian and Connor talking about that very thing. Should Virgil van Dijk win the Ballon d'Or? Brian said, a 4-course meal in an American sports stadium, I'll pass, thank you very much. Cruz is a brilliant player. Yeah, he might well be, mate, but he's 31 years of age, and I wouldn't see the point in it personally. I'd rather go and splash 60 or 70 million on somebody who we're going to have for the next 5, 6, 7 years. But look, I absolutely value your opinion, mate, and thank you for the comment. And happy birthday to Willow's daughter. Happy birthday, I didn't see that comment. Pass on all of our love, mate. Happy birthday to your young lady. How do people outside the USA feel about American football being called football? It's just quite frankly fucking wrong, mate, if I'm being honest. The game football was invented in England. It is football. American football is a version of a football, but it's not football. Football is football. So outside of America, football is just known as football. As you guys call it, soccer, which it just feels dirty saying that word, to be honest. But it's football. Real football, the roundy ball version. Yours is American football, and that's sound, but it isn't football. Football is football. VVD for the Ballon d'Or, said Mark Anthony Vieira. Origi for the Ballon d'Or, said nice day. We can have Bruno Fernandes and you guys can have James Maddison. Do you know what? You're saying lol, but I wouldn't mind James Maddison at all. Rems, mate. Yeah, I think he's a very good footballer. As a defender, what more do you have to do? Not being dribbled past in the air is like a striker scoring 50 plus goals, said Blaine Burns. As that is the point that we were kind of making. If Virgil van Dijk doesn't win the Ballon d'Or this year, and no defender has won it since Cannavaro in 2006, then what on earth will a defender have to do to win the Ballon d'Or? I don't know. He was won the Champions League, was in a Nations League final, was voted PFA Player of the Year, I can't remember how many, but won a fair few Player of the Month awards, hasn't been dribbled past in the Premier League. Liverpool conceded fuck all goals, had 21, 22 clean sheets. Yeah, I don't know what more a defender will have to do to win the Ballon d'Or if Virgil van Dijk doesn't win it this year. And look, I love attacking football. I love seeing Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, Mohamed Salah. For me, I love attacking players, but we can't, as football fans or as a football community, look past the art of defending. It can't be done. You just have to think that Virgil van Dijk deserves to win that this year. I'm sorry. If Messi had his finest year and took Barcelona to the Champions League, I would be all for giving it to Lionel Messi. I've had no issues with Messi and Ronaldo have won it in the past because they are the greatest two players in this generation. But Ronaldo got knocked out of the Champions League, won the Nations League with Portugal, so fair play on that, and won Serie A with Juventus. But again, these guys measure themselves in the Champions League, and Virgil van Dijk was part of a Champions League winning team this year, which I think should put him right there at the front of the conversation. That's my opinion on it. We go into more detail obviously in that video earlier on, but again, I'd love to know what you guys think. I think VVD is nailed on for the Ballon d'Or. Said happily eggs. As a defender, what more do you have to do? Yeah, we've done that one. Milner ages like a fine Ribena. You're breathtaking, said Antoine. I hope that's aimed at me, mate. Thank you. And I hope you don't mean I'm literally struggling for breath, because I know sometimes I talk so quickly that I do probably need to catch up with my own fucking breath at some points. Big Van Dijk is a legend already, said Mark Henley. For that price, you'd be practically in the dugout, said Tom Boland. It's still, mate, though. 770 something squid. I'd want to be sitting on Klopp's knee for that price. Ballon d'Or winner should be a Champions League winner, said Nice Day, which he is, so we've ticked that box. Divaldo, said Jones Nuff. Van Dijk winning the Ballon d'Or will usher a new age of kids wanting to be the best defender in the world, and the game will shift. It's a good thing because attackers will improve also. That's a lovely comment, Blaine. Well in, mate. I agree. There's nothing like wrong with kids aspiring to be Ronaldo or Messi or Mbappe or Salah or Firmino or Mane, but there's also nothing wrong with aspiring to be a Virgil van Dijk. And yeah, the man's a colossus. He deserves it. He just does. What else we got? Keita's got to have a good season. He's a player who is a box-to-box player. I think Naby Keita is going to just continue to progress, Gary. I mean, injuries did stutter his form a little bit this year, but we started to see what Naby Keita was capable of towards the end of the season. Andrew said, Craig, I'm really liking those 15-minute videos that you guys do on one topic. I hope you guys keep that up. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that, because do you know what? They're the hardest videos to make, because these nightly streams, I'm in my gaff. But for that 15-minute video that we did, I had to do nearly a 4-hour round trip, and Brian had to do at least a 2.5 hour round trip to go and record those down in Wexford and Connor's Place. So those 3 segments that we filmed took up about 7 hours of a day. So yeah, I'm glad you like them, and that's why I keep asking people to check them out, because a lot of work goes into those videos, and then Connor puts in time editing them as well afterwards and syncing up the audio, and I'm glad you like them, mate. Thank you. That means the world. We could do worse than Nick Andre Gomes from Everton. He's been linked to West Ham. West Ham, I think, have been trying to nick him, mate. But do you know what? When we played against Everton, I thought Andre Gomes was very impressive, Brian. He looked like a very classy midfielder. Keeper sell Klein, asked Arvin Judge. It's rumoured that he's going to go, mate, for 15 million. And I think the fact that we let him go out on loan this year probably signals that we'll move him on, or that he wants to move on. It is a weird subject, Nathaniel Klein, because I don't know what went on there. He came in, played against United, played really well, and then went out on loan. It's weird, isn't it? 15 million, as I said, is the rumoured amount. And the 2 clubs that I'd seen were Bournemouth and Napoli, surprisingly enough. I think there's still football to be played from Kleiny, and I think whoever gets him, if you get him at 50 million, you're getting a decent player for a decent fee. Douglas is in, Douglas James Horn. Do you like to be called Douglas James Horn, mate, or just Douglas? I often wondered that. With all due respect, I'd rather sign Captain Main Warning from Dad's Army than Max Cruz. I don't know who that is. I know Dad's Army, obviously, but I've never watched the show. How about Grimaldo, left back from Benfica? I don't know anything about him, Nice Day, but we are looking, or we do need quality left back to back up Andy Robertson. The only thing I keep saying is Adam Lewis, because it's all that I've read, but I will have a look at him, mate, so thank you. Keita playing on Sunday for Guinea? Is he? Is he fit? I hope he is fit. I mean, there was talk that he was going to be ruled out of the AFCON, but then again, there was talk from the Guinea manager that it was probably a little bit premature, and it looks like he was going to make it. That's great. I just don't want him coming back injured, so I don't want him rushed. We've seen with Mohamed Salah in the World Cup. He was probably, I don't want to say Egypt rushed him, maybe he rushed himself, but he wasn't fully ready for the World Cup, and then that had an impact on the start of a season for Liverpool, because he was always playing catch-up. If Liverpool didn't exist, who would you support? It goes deeper than just a football club. For I think a lot of Irish people that support Liverpool, there is just an affinity to the emigration from Irish people over to Liverpool from the boat from Dublin, and generations of stuff that goes back. So there's a history with that particular city, and it is, as we said, it lies deep with us. But I think, yeah, probably Newcastle. I can't really think of anyone else I would. I think, yeah, probably Newcastle. It's a good question though. It's one that I've been asked before. It wouldn't be a London club, definitely, and not because of anything against London. I just don't have. I wouldn't be drawn to London. It definitely wouldn't be United or City. Yeah, I can't really think past Newcastle if I'm being really honest. Yeah, Newcastle. Newcastle. It's a good question though. Maybe one that we can put to the group, guys. If you weren't supporting Liverpool, I know it's a horrible thing to think about. Or maybe you're a United fan and you weren't supporting United, because I know we've got a few United fans in the chat. Who would you support, or do you think, can you bring yourself to say anybody? Do you think Dybala could be signed this summer? No, I don't, because I think he was waiting to see what went on with Allegri, and Allegri left, and Sarri looks like he's going in there, and I would say Sarri will probably want to keep Dybala, and I can't understand this thing about Juventus. Maybe there's been rumours that there's a bit of a love loss, should we say, between him and Cristiano Ronaldo, or that he hasn't been able to develop well enough with Ronaldo there. I think if you're going to block out a player like him to suit Cristiano Ronaldo, it's very short-term thinking, and I'd be very surprised if Juventus were doing that, because he is, 24 years of age, something like that, maybe a little bit older. It'd be stupid. I think he should stay at Juventus. I think he will for the time being. What else we got? Keanu Hoover, cover at right back. Yes, he can play at right back, and so can Fabinho as well. So we can't forget that. What else have we got? I have one more thing actually. Marco Grujic as well to go through. So I will get to that in 1 second. Trent's corner should win the Ballon d'Or, said Simon. It's one of my favourite moments of the season, mate. What balls it took to take that corner like that. Just genius. Gotta love Trent as well. Did you guys see the thing that he did with Jamie Carragher? He followed him around for the season basically. It was brilliant. Accrington Stanley, loads of good shouts. Crystal Palace, one person said. Newcastle or Tranmere for Dave Sweeney. I wouldn't support anyone because I started supporting Liverpool because my uncle used to study there and he introduced me to the club, says Saeed. Villa for Brian Morrissey. Liverpool ladies for Blaine, lies. Coventry City for Tom Boland. Jones Love said snap, so I think you're with me on Newcastle. With Sarri gone to Juve, Dybala's gone nowhere, said Cahill. If I didn't support Liverpool, as sad as it may be, I'd probably have been a United fan only because my grandparents support United. Yeah, I've got United fans in my family as well. Do you know what, actually? My second, Leeds would probably be the next one. After Newcastle, Leeds would probably be the next club, I would have said, because I've got uncles who support Leeds, so I probably might have been steered in that direction. Timo Werner, I've seen nothing at all, William. I wish I had news, mate, but I've read nothing and seen nothing other than the links to Bayern Munich and the fact that Bayern Munich seemingly are willing to wait a year for his contract to be up and getting him on a free, but I don't think Leipzig will let him go on a free. That would be just stupid from their point of view. What's with United wanting to pay De Gea 20 million to go to PSG? It's not that they want to pay him that, mate. It's that if they want to move him on and bring in another keeper, he'd be due that for the rest of his contract and any potential loyalty bonuses. So that's just a figure that it would seem would cost them to pay off David De Gea. And then they want to apparently get Gianluigi Donnarumma from AC Milan, who have their own issues with needing to move players on for FFP. Nice Day said, if not Liverpool, then Brentford and Crystal Palace. Excuse me. Wolves are United killers. Nobody would switch to Everton. No, probably not, mate. Again, I wouldn't just say that because it's a cheap dig. I generally just probably wouldn't, if I'm being honest. I know a few Irish people who support Everton, to be fair. Leeds, because my granddad's from there, said Maximilian. I'm an American and I call it football. Good man, EJ. Good man. You keep fighting the good fight, buddy. And stop this soccer nonsense. It's football. Saw that Origi and Bruce are to be given a chance over buying Werner. Well, look, Origi is going to be getting a new deal by the looks of it from what you're seeing in the media. And I think he's earned it. Brewster, look, there's no doubt. They're not going to block the pathway for him because he's going to be great. It's just, I still think there's a drop off, and I still think we need somebody else across that front three. If it wasn't for Liverpool, toss up between Leeds and Celtic, said Danny Watt. However, there's only one team in the world for me: PSG or Porto. For AALF Tez Liverpool fan 9. Celtic for John Snuff. What else we got? I don't hate Arsenal, to be honest, so maybe them, Dortmund or Newcastle, said Adam Parks. Douglas, did I get an answer, mate? Sorry, I might have missed it. Do you prefer being called Douglas James Horn or Douglas? Sorry, mate. You probably did answer that and I just missed it. Fuck the world soccer. The word soccer, said Pepe Red. I hate it. I've seen on Twitter, Ojo agreed a new deal at Liverpool. That's taken me by surprise, Liam, I have to say, mate. Shea Ojo looked certain to be moved on, but maybe they're going to give him a new deal and put him out on loan and see how he gets on, or maybe they're just protecting the value of the player. I don't know. Maybe they believe in the guy. Bruno Fernandes, best player for Liverpool for sure, said Pedro. A lot of stuff saying he could go to United though, Pedro, but I agree. I think Liverpool will be a much better move for him. You don't mind? Alright. I'll call you Douglas then if that's alright, because it just saves me a couple of words. Soccer should be a swear word, said Connor. Ojo did sign a new deal, said William. 5 years. Wow. There you go. Interesting to know why that is. If the club really do believe in him, or if they're going to loan him out and that's just to try and protect his value. Has anybody seen anything on that? Has there been any confirmation that he's staying or going to go out on loan? Origin of the word soccer. Here in South Africa, we also use it. I couldn't tell you the origin of the word Cape Town Muslim. I'm sure somebody could Google it and give us an answer, but I've no idea. Saint Etienne, said Stephen Robinson, because Etienne is Stephen French. Or there you go. Saint Stephen. I didn't know that. Chances of us being disappointed at the end of the window. It depends, I suppose, what your aspirations are or your perceptions of what's going to happen in the window, Chris. For me, I'll be disappointed if we don't add some attacking quality. Maybe a midfielder. But I don't really have any... I don't have any level that I'm expecting from us. I just think it would be stupid of us to stand still. Even if Klopp believes in the squad, which he should, by the way. Of course he should. Everybody else is going to be strengthening, and we're still playing catch up with Manchester City because they won the league and we want that league title. So we need to add strength and depth, and I'm sure we will. I mean, the club aren't foolish. I'm sure we will. Did you ever watch Black Mirror? No, but it's been recommended to me by so many people, mate. But my head's messed up enough without watching that, from what I've heard. But I probably will give it a go. What's the joke about Connor's jacket? It's, I don't know, a really nice jacket or something. I can't really explain it, mate. Connor holds the jacket in very high esteem, let's put it that way. Declan said, I just stopped now. What's been happening so far in the stream? Honestly, Declan, mate, not a lot with regards to transfers. On Grujic, actually, let me get on to Grujic before I forget. So following an impressive season in Germany with Hertha Berlin, Liverpool could be set to cash in on Marco Grujic, but the player will only be sold if somebody offers more than 25 million for the 23-year-old Serbian midfielder. That's the story today from Goal's Neil Jones, who further claims the following: the £54 million sale of striker Luka Jovic to Real Madrid, Eintracht Frankfurt have shown an increased interest in signing Grujic on a permanent deal. Now, we spoke about this last night. We listed off 3 clubs that were interested in Grujic: Hertha Berlin, Eintracht Frankfurt and Werder Bremen. And he's had a very good loan spell in Germany. Hertha Berlin's manager described him as the best midfielder the club had for, 20 years or something like that. 25 million, I still think that's cheap. I think that's very cheap for Marco Grujic. The 40 odd million that I'd seen rumoured around Atletico, I think the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. It would be interesting to see if we sell him. The guy hasn't really gotten a chance at Liverpool, to be fair. But if you bought a player for, what did we buy him for? It was something very small when we bought him. And you send him out on loan for a few years and you sell him for 25 or 30 million quid. Is that good business, or is that letting the player down? I'll leave that open to your perceptions. I mean, there's an argument around this. Chelsea do this very well. They buy in young players, loan them out around Europe, and then cash in on them and bring in some revenue from that. I don't know if that's unethical or not from a footballing perspective. I don't know if the club should have more of a duty of care to the players in that sense. But then again, if they're not good enough, it's a cutthroat business. So it's an interesting conversation. Would you like Jadon Sancho at Liverpool? I am not as sold on Jadon Sancho as some people are. I don't think he is the superstar that some people believe he is yet. But he does seem to be a very talented young man. And Klopp did say that when he was leaving Manchester City that Liverpool were looking at it, but City had no interest in dealing with Liverpool, so he went to Borussia Dortmund. Have you got a favourite club from another league? Yes, Barcelona. Papa Jaffa. I've been bluntly honest before and said I actually supported Barcelona before I supported Liverpool for, well, I say before like I changed clubs. Going on holidays to Spain, really, really young. I had Barcelona jerseys from the age of 6 because, you know, we only ever went to Santa Ponsa on holidays when I was younger. So yeah, Barcelona. But then, as I said, that all changed when Liverpool lost 2-0 to Arsenal at Anfield and Arsenal won the League One title that night. Everything changed. I fell in love with Liverpool, and since then, Liverpool, of course, have been my club like everybody else. Comes from people using their socks as contraceptives. Oh, I give up, man. That's just nuts. 8 million, Mark said we paid for Grujic. Thank you, mate. Why sell Grujic? Can he not back up Fabinho? Asks Chris. It's a very good question, Chris. And I think you're right to ask that question. And I think that there is definitely a player in Marco Grujic. I said I'd only ever look at selling him if you were going to bring in maybe a Ruben Neves or somebody, but I believe in the guy. I think he's going to have a very good career, and it'll be interesting to see what we do with him. Right, guys, going to do another 10 minutes before we finish up tonight, so if there's anything else you guys want to get in the chat, please do let me know. Also, don't forget to keep hitting that subscribe button as well, and drop a like on the stream. We're edging towards 17,000. Every single subscription helps, and again, everything is free on the channel. Keep an eye out for some more stuff that's going to come up, by the way, over the coming days. There's a couple more of these 15-minute segments that myself, Connor and Brian filmed. I did a 35-minute interview with Cash before the stream, and that'll be going out over the coming days as well. Probably another podcast going to be recorded, and then the VVD thing went out today as well. So lots of content coming up, and the transfers will be starting to happen as well. Players will be finishing international duty now, heading off on their holidays, which is the time usually where agents and clubs get talking, and Klopp likes to have players in early, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a transfer happening, which is why I always say make sure you got them notifications turned on, because if a transfer happens, I'm jumping on here and going live straight away like a big excited child. What about that winger from Brighton? He looked pretty tricky and direct. I'm not sure which guy you're talking about, mate. Sorry, I don't know. The only one I can think of from Brighton was Anthony Knockhart, but that's probably not who you're talking about. Messi son trolls Messi about Liverpool. I'd seen that. He played Liverpool in FIFA, didn't he? Because they beat his daddy's team. Steve said, we need Fekir, 15 million is a steal. I still don't believe that he's going to be sold that cheaply, Steve. Even with a year left on his deal, Nabil Fekir's worth more than 15 million. And I'd be amazed if Jean-Michel Aulas and Leon sell him for that cheap. But if they do, of course, we should be looking at that. But I still think he'll go for more than that. Grujic is a great player. I think we should keep him, said Mark Hendley. Antoine Griezmann is closing in on a move to PSG. We spoke about that last night. It looks like he'll go to PSG and Edison Cavani will head in the other direction. I've no idea with regards to what fees or anything like that. That's just something I read last night. Do I follow any other sports? Boxing, Sean. I'm a huge boxing fan, mate. A little bit less than football, obviously, but yeah, boxing is definitely the next thing. Norwich left back is tipped to be a player. Is he a risk cover for Robertson? Seen a lot of people interested in him, said Jace the Face. I don't know, mate. We are going to have cover, so whether that's Adam Lewis or whether we do bring somebody in, I guess we're going to have to wait and see. What else we got? Fekir should play one more season for Leon and come for free. I think Leon will look to move him on. They said there's an agreement in place with the player that he can move on. Joanne said, Craig and everybody, there's a YouTube video called The Origin of Soccer. It's a 2-minute video. So there you go. Nice one, Joanne. Thank you for that. Pepe liked a Twitter post about him to Liverpool. Is this a real account though, Jay? Or is this a moody account or a fake tweet? Because don't be getting us excited right at the end of the stream. Don't be coming in and tickling our proverbial balls, Jay, about Pepe joining Liverpool if it's not true, because that would make a lot of people very, very, very happy. Why is this looking United stand? Is there any chance, mate, that you could phrase that in a way that's actually fucking legible so I can read it out? If you're going to come in and try and troll Brandon, mate, try and string a fucking sentence together, mate, if that's alright. But I think I can get the gist of what your smart ass is trying to say. Why does this setup look similar to the United stand? Because we all use something similar to OBS, mate, and we all have green screens, and we all use fucking microphones, and we all use images in the back. That's pretty much the answer. I mean, I could give you a long-winded answer about the differences, because there are differences. I could also tell you to go and fuck yourself for your smart arse answer, but I think I'll probably go somewhere in the middle, Brandon, mate. And I've nothing but respect for the United stand of Mark Goldbridge, but he didn't invent OBS, and he didn't invent green screens, and he didn't invent images, and he didn't invent the way people do this type of thing. So yeah, sorry, that's pretty much my answer. It's a fucking lazy ass comment as well, if I'm being honest, pal. Why don't you go and ask Mark Goldbridge? He'd probably be able to give you a better answer. I'm late. Who do you think Fernandes is going to? I genuinely don't know, Leon. United. All day I would have said Liverpool, mate, and then right at the end of the day I'd seen stuff linking United to him very strongly. It is actually his Twitter account. Ooh, class, Jay. Do you want me to tag you in it? Yes, please, mate, if you could. At Anfield Agenda. I'd really appreciate that, Jay. Thank you. Why are United trolls so dumb? It's not United trolls. And look, I don't want this to be a United bashing exercise, but in general, trolls are fucking morons. Honestly. I could read you out some of the comments that were sent to us. I posted one up on Twitter today from one particular gobshite. Trolls are just angry little fuckers that hide behind false names and false accounts that have no love in their lives and look to project their hatred and their shittiness onto other people. And it's so fucking sad. And do you know what? People that think trolling works, it doesn't. All it does is make people like me or Mark or whoever the fuck you're trolling sit back and laugh at how fucking stupid and sad you are, that you hate something so much but go out of your way to watch videos and comment on it. Do you not see the stupidity in that? To all the trolls out there that think it works, we all sit back and laugh at your stupid asses because you're all fucking morons. So if you think trolling works, it doesn't. It just makes us know that we're in your heads, and that just inspires us to go on and keep doing what we're doing. And every single trolling comment I get, I sit back, laugh my ass off, and take pleasure knowing that I'm stuck inside your motherfucking head, and that you hate me so much that you take the time out of your day, go have a wank or something, treat yourself, rather than coming on trolling, you sad little fuckers. Honestly, I don't get the mindset of a troll. It must be horrible to live in that type of a world where your whole existence is to go around and try and shit on people. As I said, go and treat yourself, do something nice, go watch a fucking film, go out and listen to birds singing or something. I don't know. If you want any advice, I'm happy to give you advice. Pornhub's a great way of spending an hour. Do I want him boot without? Nah. Don't even bother, Joanne. It's grand. Let him have his little moment in the sun. The Raptors winning the NBA championship tonight. Said nice day. Best of luck to the Toronto Raptors. They're 3-1 up in a best of 7 series. Is that right? Trolls can delete my balls, said Steve. In your heads rent free, mate. Exactly, it's madness. It's hilarious. Like, I hate you, you're such a dickhead, you're embarrassing all Liverpool fans, I hate what you do. Alright, mate, but you're the one in here commenting and watching the video. So firstly, to all the trolls out there, cheers for the ad revenue, dickheads. Appreciate it, because you're helping to fund the channel by watching the videos and commenting on them. Every comment that you put in helps push our videos out there more and more. So all you're doing is helping the channel that you hate so much. And again, it just comes back around to the fact that you're too fucking stupid to understand that. So, I'm a lovely guy. I love people. I want to spread happiness and positivity into the world, but I do not deal with trolls very well because you're morons. Morons. That's all I can say. You're fucking morons, trolls. Having such a craving for some ice cream, said Andrew Childerhouse. 7 times next season for the Premier League, said EJ. Maybe they should sell Pogba and use the money to build their own channel. To be fair, Mark, I don't want this to turn into a United Stand bashing exercise because I'm very fond of that channel and of Mark Goldbridge. I just get pissed off when people think that Mark owns the rights to OBS and actually he does. I don't think he even uses OBS, to be precise. I think he uses XSplit, if memory serves me correct. But it is funny, and I've had the conversation with Mark about it as well. There's only so much you can do when you use this type of setup. If you think it's robbing the United Stand, I mean, I take that as a compliment, actually, to be honest. I love you guys that hate me. Means I'm doing something good. Lol. Yeah, exactly. You're in their heads. I'm not going around on their channels commenting, mate, because I couldn't be arsed. That's the only way they get attention. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? I've often said this. As much as I have a go at trolls, I actually do feel sympathy for them. I genuinely do feel sympathy for anybody that doesn't have love in their life, or that doesn't have, or that feels a need to try and belittle somebody else. I genuinely do feel sorry for them because I don't know what caused them to get that way. I don't know why their life is so shit that they feel like they need to do that. And I wish them the best, and I hope that they go and get the love and help or attention that they need. But it's not an accident that trolls are usually morons that usually can't fucking string a sentence together. But then again, I don't know. I'm somebody that tries to spread love and loves positive shit, so fuck them. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, John Bell said, nothing like the United Stand. I'm a United fan, stay in this channel longer than I do on the United Stand. I think the main difference between what we do and what Mark does, apart from the club content obviously, is Mark is far more articulate than I am, and Mark has some great impressions and thoughts on football, and he likes to give his thoughts and give his views, and usually Mark's content is shorter than ours, except watch-alongs, and he does read out some comments in the chat, but he always has his own unique views that are very well appreciated and very well presented. Whereas when I come on here, 95% of what I do is just read out comments and try and interact with people. I think there is a major difference in what we do. There's always interaction on the United Stand, but as I said, Mark is far more articulate than I and much better able to express his opinions and can hold a screen and a microphone very well. Whereas I'm just a fraud on here, basically reading comments and just chancing my arm to see how far I can get. And so far it's going alright. And I'm going to keep chancing my arm as long as people keep tuning in. Craig's back went soft on us there for a while. Do you know, my wife said it to me. My wife said the very same thing to me, Cape Town Muslim. Why are you so nice these days on the stream? What's gone wrong? All I could put it down to was there was no watch-alongs and there wasn't as many trolls. And I was always aware as well that there was kids watching, and as much as I swear, they don't need to see somebody getting angry as well, but it is fucking fun. Sometimes I enjoy it, I'm not going to lie. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much for your time and for coming in and the interaction and the comments and the thoughts. We may not have agreed on everything that we've spoken about tonight. There was some disagreement around the price of tickets and a few other bits and pieces, but as always, whatever happens on this stream, when the stream's over, we'll go on tomorrow and we'll come back as friends and we'll try and start again. I love each and every one of you, as I keep saying. I appreciate the time you give to us, and I know Connor does as well, even though he's eating prawn sandwiches at the Ireland game with the yuppies in the media section. We'll chat to you tomorrow. Be back at the same time at 9:30. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out. To all the trolls, I'll see you in the comments later on and I'll laugh my ass off at you. Yeah, nothing else to say, ladies and gents. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And up the motherfucking 6-time European Cup winning Reds. Go on, you red men.